Hi, my name is Nikki Hyde, and I am part of the stage management team, the production staff at LA Opera. My first show with LA Opera was in 2014. It was A Streetcar Named Desire, and I've worked on several stage management teams since. How I got into stage management, I think, is a pretty common story. I grew up doing theater. I don't know if that's actually very common, but my parents got me into doing theater. They're also performers, and I never liked auditioning. I really always had a lot of anxiety about getting in front of people and performing, but I enjoyed the community so much that I kept doing it. And it wasn't really until I got into college that I realized what other opportunities there were to work in theater that wasn't on stage. I feel like stage management encompasses the best of performing and being on stage and being part of the creative process, and also the technical elements of the show, and bringing those two parts together, and really just managing the communication and the day-to-day running of rehearsals. I get to be in rehearsal, which I absolutely love, and I also get to run shows. So a typical day for an LA Opera stage manager, it varies, and I think that's what makes this job so interesting. But oftentimes we get in an hour or so before the start of rehearsal. If we have meetings, we have those with the costume shop or props or etc. We also spend time maybe updating paperwork, but really at 30 minutes before the start of any rehearsal, we are up in the rehearsal room getting everything set up with props and costumes so that we're ready to start with the artists. We are in rehearsal each day somewhere between 3 and 9 hours, depending on what we're doing that day. And then at the end of the day, we usually have a little meeting with the stage management team, exchange notes, and then the stage manager of that production sends out the report to the larger company about what happened in rehearsal that day. Opera. But the thing that I love about opera is I love watching the athleticism of the singers, and just the amazing caliber of talent that the singers and the musicians, the conductors have, and you're bringing all of these different groups of people who are at the peak of their artistry, and talking about designers and directors, and in addition to all the musicians, and you're kind of bringing them all together, and it feels sometimes like we're not going to get it all together, we're not going to end up on the same page to create this massive production, but then we do. And when it all comes together, there's this moment where, especially as a stage manager, you take a deep breath, and you're just like, oh my gosh, we did it, and how transformative that feels to be part of the process. But then I think that also translates to the audience. So I feel like I've had a lot of opportunities to work on a lot of the classics. So I've worked on Carmen, and I've worked on La Traviata a few times, and I got to do my first La Boheme and Magic Flute last year. So that's been really wonderful to get to work on the canon of operas that are done very, very frequently. But I've also had this really great opportunity to work on some new operas, some chamber operas. I also just worked on Eurydice. Well, not just, it was about a year ago, but I got to work on the world premiere of Eurydice at LA Opera. So having the librettist, the composer in the room and really developing this new work has felt like a wonderful marriage between my work as a theater stage manager and my work as an opera stage manager. I think one of the most transformative productions that I've had the pleasure of working on was at LA Opera, and it was Satyagraha, which is the Philip Glass opera about Gandhi. And being part of that piece, which is relatively new in the grand scheme of things, was just again, it was transformative in a artistic way, and also in its message, and also in its storytelling through the music. It was just, that will be one that will stick with me for, I think, for my entire career. It was also incredibly technically challenging as a stage manager, but I think all of those things together made that one of the most affecting pieces that I've gotten to work on. So looking forward to the 2021-2022 season at LA Opera. I am very excited because I am going to be on Tannhauser, which was supposed to happen this past fall, but I'm very excited that it should be coming back in the fall of 2021. I am so excited to see and work with my colleagues. I am excited to get back into a rehearsal room, get back on stage. I didn't, I think I took for granted how much my work was my community, was my family, and still remains that. But it's difficult when you can't be in person and in community in a physical sense with everyone. So I look forward to that. I look forward to hearing music. I went to one drive-in opera experience, and as soon as the orchestra started to tune, I got tears in my eyes because I didn't realize how deprived I was of that live experience. So I look forward to all of those things.